Once upon a time, in ghostly Japan, there was a waterfall called the Yurei, or the Cascade of Ghosts. At that time, at the base of the waterfall, there stood a small shrine, a Shinto shrine dedicated to the local god, Takidemoji, as well as a small wooden cash box for offerings to the god from visitors to the spot. Now, one cold winter evening, after the day's work was done, the women employed at a nearby hemp factory were warming themselves around a hot stove and amusing themselves by telling ghost stories. As the evening progressed, the stories became increasingly horrifying, each storyteller trying to top the previous tale, and the listeners grew increasingly uneasy and frightened, until one of the younger women blurted, "Imagine going to the Yurei, the Cascade of Ghosts, tonight, in the dark, alone." And the listeners shivered, and not because of the cold outside. Someone said, "I'd give all the hemp I spun today to anyone brave enough or foolish enough to do that." Then someone else said, "So would I." This led to a cascade of offers. "So would I. So would I." All of them said it. All of them, except a young woman named Okatsu, wife of a poor carpenter. "Listen," she said, "if all of you will pledge to give me all the hemp you've spun today, I will go to the Yurei, go to the Cascade of Ghosts." At first the other women thought she was joking, but realized that she was serious when Okatsu repeated the offer several times, and after a period of haggling and negotiation, all of the workers agreed to turn over all of their hemp. All of it, if Okatsu provided proof that she had actually visited the waterfall by returning with the cash box for the offerings to the god. Okatsu agreed to the terms and the sacrilege and set off into the icy darkness with her 2-year-old son sound asleep and strapped warmly on her back. The night was cold but clear. Okatsu made her way down the dark village street, then along a path through the woods, until she could hear the roar of the cataract and began to feel the freezing spray on her face. Soon Okatsu was able to see the shrine and the money box, but as she made her way towards it, hands outstretched to grab the offerings and run, she heard a voice over the thundering of the cascade. "Oi, Okatsu-san!" It was a loud, thundering voice which seemed to emanate from the very waterfall itself. Okatsu stood rooted to the spot, rooted in sheer terror, her hand still extended towards the cash box. "Oi, Okatsu-san!" The voice came again, louder and angrier and threatening. Okatsu's heart was in her mouth, as she knew the god was warning her to stop and to leave. But Okatsu has been described as a bold woman, and her poverty meant she needed the extra hemp. So forcing herself to ignore her fear, she grabbed the money and ran. When she returned to the factory, the other women were amazed at the proof she had actually done it, actually taken up the dare, actually taken the property of a god. And then they were even more horrified when they learned the god had called out to her, warning her to stop and warning her by name. "I guess you've earned all the hemp," a shocked voice said, while another asked, "Okatsu, but isn't your baby hungry?" "It's time I fed him," Okatsu said happily. "He's been very patient, very quiet." Okatsu removed the child from her back, then dropped him with a scream, her hands covered in blood. her son's head had been chewed off. The gods are not mocked. If this is your first visit to my channel, my name is Warren, and I write and tell original ghost stories and original horror stories featuring cryptids such as the Night Floaters, werewolves, and black-eyed children. I hope you will consider subscribing. Till midnight. Cheers.